Oh, a very, very high stakes game is going to be on the cards right now for Hokori. They need to bring something incredible to the table. But where that all starts is with the draft, which we have ready now for game number 2, as we see Thunder Awaken versus Hokori, an all important matchup. And Sexy Fat, do you like what you see in the banning department here? Of course, we're going to be still sticking to the meta here in South America. No Beastmaster is going to be allowed to be played, at least not without giving something up hectic for free. But a much earlier ban on the Dark Mago Batrider now emerges from Hokori. What do you make of this, and what do you think they're trying to set up for by taking this hero out so early?
I actually don't. It can be two ways. Like, they can just be banning because they know it's comfort for him, or they can just be like with no plan at all, and someone just suggests, "Go ban Batrider." I know Dark Mago plays with maybe one of those two, but I don't think they're setting up for any picks with this ban.
Thunder Awaken, of course, starting out the draft by getting themselves the Mars. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they have a lot of versatility with this hero. And we know that Thunder Awaken generally like picking versatile heroes early. But this Visage now emerging for Hokori. Visage. You know, there are certain teams, like if I'm seeing a bet boom or whatever play this Visage, I'm 100% convinced they're going to win this out. No problem. And we have seen Hokori win with this Visage, but we haven't seen that done in the DPC just yet here, Kips. What do you make? Is this just one of these things of a trend has been set, let's try and adopt this trend? Or do you feel like they're practiced enough in this that they can run it in this all-important game for themselves?
I don't think you want to run a Visage if you don't know what you're doing. Like, you need very specific timings to... It actually needs a bit of time to load up if you don't have a good lane for it. You need a specialist player for this. And the fact that they pick up the Monkey King here as well does tell me that they have some inkling of how they want to play it. Because if you're up first in MK, you slap the staff down, both of the birds immediately die, right? It's absolutely unplayable. So they protect this pick. Of course, they immediately get countered by the CK anyway. All of these damage instances from the Illusions Visage just not like. But I think that's a decent sign, and I think this is a strong opening. Especially, this Monkey King can still go support. Whereas for Thunder Awaken, it's very unlikely that these are already two of your cores being picked up in the first phase.
Yeah, unless they do something very interesting with shifting away the Mars into the support role. I mean, there is still that flexibility of could be 1 or 3 CK, 2 or 3 Mars, and they'll probably wait to answer that deeper into the draft. And we see them take out Undying now on Thunder Awaken side. Weaver's still banned out anyway from Hokori. Sexy Fat, I wanted to actually ask you this, right? When we're talking about the mass amount of teamfight that does happen in South America in general, we don't see as much Wraith Pact in this region as we see in other regions. What do you make of that? Given that the teamfights are going to be happening anyway, isn't it worthwhile investing in that item pretty much every game?
Yeah, and I still believe it's a broken item in the game, and people should buy it more, I think. But what can happen sometimes, you don't have the heroes to buy it, like... I think that's just the reason why people are not building that much in SA. But I think we're gonna see this game, right? Visage is one of the most Wraith Pact buyers in the game.
Absolutely, we're gonna get a Wraith Pact, we're gonna get the bongo boots, we're gonna get all of the auras. It's gonna be a good time.
Well, not unless you're playing 5 position on the enemy team, then it's not that much of a good time. Hokori still need to make sure, we still need to see exactly where these heroes are going to be played, versatile for themselves. But I'm very worried about this mid lane matchup, because one thing that we saw in the last game, well, just in general from Thunder Awaken, they were much more present on the map as a squad than what Hokori was able to do. So I need a hero that's going to occupy this mid lane, that's going to play extremely fast, honestly. I do not want to see that same kind of pace that they set last game, and they just allow themselves to eventually get ran over. So Analog, what heroes do we want from him to set that pace? Obviously, it didn't necessarily work out on that Ember Spirit. Does he play Void Spirit here? Do we know, actually? Wait, I can find out. But what do you think we need to play here in order to set up as well? Not just to make the game faster, but to ensure that heroes stay within the Wukong's command and tank all that damage.
Yeah. I would not be opposed to something like a Kunkka. So it's a little bit early to talk about the mid lane matchup. Certainly they're going to pick up at least 1 or maybe 2 supports here. Yeah, Snap, very good as a reaction to Mars. Very good as a counter ganker as well. But Kunkka would be good. The cleave does quite a bit of work versus the CK, as well as that, of course, tossing a boat into the Mars arena is very frustrating for the Mars. Like, he makes it very clear where the damage reduction needs to be, because he paints a circle for you to aim at. So you just toss your boat in there, and usually it saves the lives of a couple of teammates who are trapped in there. So if they still have the space for the Kunkka at the end of this, I would not mind to see that at all from Analog. He's got a great record on it too.
62 games that he's played on, a 66% win rate. Definitely knows what he's doing. Tons of team fight that they already have for themselves, so getting more of it would be cool. Lich coming out right now for Thunder Awaken, so some damage mitigation, get yourself a Frost Shield. Sexy Fat, you were mentioning that they don't always pick heroes in this region that can naturally buy up into the Wraith Pact. Maybe this is a sort of answer, right? You bridge the gap by getting a hero that has a sort of one hero spell that at least gets major damage mitigation. And then maybe you pick a hero that will just run headlong into the fight. Right now, it's looking like it's Mars, but I could still see them maybe going back for a sort of a greedy Death Prophet, something like this that just goes forward, tanks up the damage, forces the fight to happen on their own terms. I'm okay with this, especially since they have the Mars, but I don't know. I'm still always 50-50 on Lich. It's just kind of boring, if I'm honest, and I don't place a high premium on boring heroes right now. Do you like this Lich in this game?
Yeah, it's really good against Visage, and it's more damage, more team fight. Even with the Wraith Pack, the team fight of Thunder Awaken is just so strong right now. I want to see a spirits for Hokori now. I think they need something mobile to burst this Lich. Like if they start a fight bursting this Lich, for example, if they pick like a Void Spirit hero, it will be great for them, because then Thunder would start lacking damage, because CK doesn't provide that much of a team fight damage, and Mars only provides in one target, right?
Yeah, I agree. Like the appearance of the Lich, and now Nyx Assassin makes a lot of spirits very uncomfortable to play. Though Thunder Awaken think the same as you, man. They got their plans ready.
They were expecting.
Oh, is anybody in this game happy to play against Nyx? Snapfire suddenly hating life with Morty's kisses. Monkey King's like, well, I'll cost my ultimate, but that's about it. I suppose Visage is okay with this, but this kind of sucks. And like you just mentioned, Kips, because they can't really play spirits now, or they can, but there's a massively increased risk. On the bright side, the amount of lockdown from Thunder Awaken, it's there, but you maybe still feel you can maybe sort of play around it, but I don't know. Game's complicated now. Do you maybe now pivot back into something like, I don't know, DK mid, just tank up, and try to survive throughout a lot of this damage that comes in from Thunder?
Yeah, DK and Kunkka seem like both
DK.
good pick. Gibbs mentioned the Kunkka, you get some catch, like Hokori lacks some catch in their draft, and they still have one more tanky hero, right? And the cover with the boat. Seems really good.
Yeah, the Kunkka is still good, and yeah, your DK suggestion's not bad either. But no, that's they're just calling it. We're gonna play this.
sorry, go.
No, you can go ahead.
Analog have real cojones here. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that if you didn't. Oh, that is such a hated matchup. Like that, I've worked with a lot of Ember Spirit players who are just like, if there's a Nyx Assassin, I'm not playing this anymore. Can I go to support? As a spirit, it's about your reaction speed, right? You're supposed to be able to dodge things, weave in and out. Nyx stun is instant, and he's invis. He's just the combo breaker of all combo breakers, and Analog is just going for it anyways. Like, I don't care. I'll build a BKB first item again. Bring it. And I admire that, but with the way it went last time, I'm not sure if it's actually a good idea.
Yeah, I'm terrified about this phase of the game where this Mars has Blink and Ember Spirits like trying to round into BKB. Then those are going to be, let's just say I'm expecting a somewhat delayed BKB in this game from the Ember Spirits. So Analog, gonna have to show us something special, fam. Something very special. On the bright side, it's a little bit of extra disable for some of their other spells, but this Nyx just does feel like a game ruiner right now. What is there? I mean, there is still a lot of versatility. What are we thinking here? Are we thinking that this Monkey King is indeed a support, or doesn't feel like they can really afford to run this hero as a pure one, right? Just continually farming. I mean, they can, but then you have to build like Echo Saber, I guess. I don't want to see like a Battle Fury build. Want something that allows them to fight early on. I don't know. Y'all are better at Dota than me. Tell me what they need to get here for Hokori, because unfortunately, it's looking like we might have another situation where Thunder have a much easier road to victory than Hokori does.
I don't know. If you go really hard on the counter, you can get like a hard dispel here to help your Ember Spirit actually play the game. But I don't know. Like Abaddon here doesn't feel exactly great. The Monkey King is fine versus the CK though. Like as long as you make sure to fight in your Wukong's command, the amount of armor that you get out of that is actually very nice. I think they can run a carry, it's fine. Unless they get something absolutely devastating here. A hard time imagining what that would be, though.
I got to play with Misho a bit, so I know he really likes this Monkey King position for like...
Okay.
And Vitaly also likes it. So they might go for this Monkey King support anyways.
Ooh.
Okay.
Doxia. Alright, this looks very pesky to deal with in this offlane. This Ion Shell sitting on this Nyx Assassin. Tons of pesky harass. Later on, I suppose you have some vacuum shenanigans that you can pull off against the Hokori lineup. Haven't seen Doxia in a while though. Thunder Awaken have played this hero, but it's somewhat scarce for them to do it. Why Doxia of all the heroes? I mean, it is some additional team fight, aura builder. I suppose maybe they thinking that, well, enemy team has Visage as an aura builder. We want our own one. I don't know how I feel about it though, y'all.
I don't know. I feel like you'd like take Oracle, ruin his game, or Ench. Either of them.
Monkey.
I like the Oracle because then you also get the hard dispel for your Ember Spirit, but Ench ruins Darkseer harder.
So last pick Inch to try and ruin the Darkseer's game as much as humanly possible. And that is going to be shifting this Monkey King into the carry role here. So Elmisha, unfortunately, Sexy Fat has to do something he doesn't love. But will this result in victory for them? Keeps us mentioning how we have a decent matchup. Monkey King into the CK. Now this Enchantress is ruining the Darkseer's game. Is the counter-to-counter hero matchup going to be worthwhile for Hokori at the end of the day?
I'm actually not sure, but what can I say is that I really prefer Thunder Awaken's draft. I think if they manage to go for laning phase on bottom lane with this Darkseer countered, I think they will have a slight advantage on this game.
All right, and Kips, you are clamoring for some kind of way to deal with this Darkseer. You got it. Is Hokori going to be able to use that? Is it good enough at the end of the day to push them over the finish line into a game 3?
I'm not sure. Like, as much as it's a great pick versus Darkseer, you were already at a disadvantage because you picked this Ember Spirit into the Nyx Assassin. And that's you don't make that go away by picking the Ench. That's just not happening. So, if you look at the amount of point-and-click stuns over on Thunder Awakens versus the ones that Hokori have available to them, and then look at the hard counters one way or another, like, once again, it's just so much easier for Thunder Awakens to play this one.
Thunder Awaken yet again with the ease of execution, erstwhile Hokori with their life on the line here, presumably looking down, not being able to participate, not just at the major, but potentially losing out to TI itself. They need this game, they need this win. To find out if they can get it, we've got some wonderful casters on the mic. Gareth and Lacoste, take it away, boys, for this all-important game number 2.
Yeah, super important for Hokori, but it seems like Thunder Awaken are looking to stamp out the resistance and stop anyone from stealing one of these top spots away from them. Lacoste, that Ench last pick, it looked good against Darkseer, decent in lane, but does it solve the problems Hokori will have going into mid-game?
I wouldn't say so. Might be a bit tricky playing into what they got. Like the team fight on side of Thunder Awaken is super strong. Like this, I was wondering how they're gonna approach the last pick for Thunder Awaken, because looking at Nyx Assassin Mars, there was a potential that this Mars is going to be on the offlane. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't sound strong. And Dark Mag also played Mars in the previous game, and looked really good on it. So good old classic back in I don't know when that started, 2014 maybe. Darkseer plus Nyx Assassin combo. This is really good. Like this is relatively easy to execute. Add Lich on top of that, and you have a lot of team fight, Gary.
As usual, you're one step ahead of me. I was going to wait until we saw these vacuum stuns to wax lyrical about the history of that and think about, you know, in the past how we used to see the Darkseer Sven, the Darkseer Nyx, all these heroes, the Darkseer Spirit Breaker and Earth Spirit, all these annoying heroes that, you know, have ability or invisibility to get on top of you and then stun you. And then the follow-on thing from that is we used to see Darkseer with the Helm of the Dominator, right? With those Centaur stomps with the vacuum. Is Darkseer in a place now where he is a Helm buyer, or is he still that kind of aura bot with the blink, the arcanes, the mech maybe?
I think he might go for a more teamfight oriented build here instead of like trying to rush Ags because they can hit the certain timings. Ags might be a bit too slow from what I see. What he has in a quick buy, it's Soul Ring, Mana Boot, so wants to be able to put as much pressure as he can early on. So probably gonna be, I'd say mech. I wouldn't mind seeing mech. Like even Vanguard is fine. Like if you want to go for more scaling build, Vanguard is also one you can go for. Whether you want to turn that into like Crimson Guard, leave it as Vanguard, get the Orchid. Like Darkseer can be built in multiple ways. We'll see like how his lane goes, and then we'll see like what he needs to bring. Like if the other lanes are not going well, if they feel like, you know, Visage off to a really good start, he might lean towards the Crimson Guard, because like Crimson Guard is extremely good, and we saw in the previous game that he is really not afraid to buy that item because item got buffed a bit, nothing too fancy, still works extremely good against all three cores inside of Hokori.
It absolutely does. I had totally forgotten about that 3/3 Orchid build on Darkseer. So yeah, I guess an Ember Spirit, even like Enchantress.
I would say that he's not gonna, if he gets Mana Boots, if that's what he's looking into, he's not getting Vanguard and Orchid. Like he's probably gonna go for Aura build because it's just way too slow, way too many items to buy. You don't hit the timings.
Go for standard stuff. Ember Spirit smoked, gets his ward across the river. And Radiant, pretty focused around these mid lane wards. One up on the high ground near Dire Triangle. And already one across towards top rune spot. As it looks like both teams mirroring the movements each other are making. Unlikely anyone's going to get caught. At least not when the runes spawn. But we could see, as we often do, these a pair of heroes just wait on a high ground for people to maneuver back across the map towards their lanes. And maybe catch someone on that migration. Dark Margo just hiding away in his trees mid. He's going to see the Enchantress here in a second. Oh, yeah, hello. What are you doing over here? This is my side of the river.
Fighting into Lich, level 1 and CK might be a bit too tricky. Also, one thing to point out, Impale, it got buffed. Like, mana cost reduced, and also the spike radius is bigger. Matthew's dead.
Just dead, though. Soul Assumption level 1.
Yeah, the rest of the team decided to bail. I also forgot about Visage. Like, Visage, probably one of the strongest level 1 heroes. Never mind. Because we saw, was it you and me? We were casting the game, and the Visage got a triple kill.
I can't remember. We had a couple of games where it's like 5-6 kills before the horn. There's some serious madness going around. Yeah, snap Visage in this bottom lane for Hokori. Against a Lich and a CK. I mean, Visage is a very slow hero, and yet early levels, he is absolutely susceptible to getting punched around by Pandamu and Pakaz. Vitali throws a Soul Assumption out, but it looks like he's going to be dying here. There is another Chaos Bolt if Pakaz feels he needs it, but just with raw right-click power. Okay, he chucks the stun at him for good measure. Tanking a lot of damage on his way back, though, and El Misho shows him the front end of that Scatter Blast gun.
Seeker's gonna be fine. This is how you need to punish certain lanes, especially Visage. Like, hero... I don't think Hokori got anything too bad out of the lane, because he managed to get second Soul Assumption and put some damage on a CK. The thing is, he died. He was also the one who got the first blood, so a lot of branches. Look at his item build. Just wants to be able get as tanky as possible early on, getting that magic one, that extra 3 branches on top of that.
Top lane's getting a bit weird, actually. Matthew's been trying to drag creep waves around for the past minute, basically. And Gardeck's been stealing enemy creeps from the lane. He's been blocking, dragging waves, and putting a lot of damage onto this Nyx Assassin. So it hasn't been an easy time. But he'll meet the waves in front of the tier 1 for Sacred, which is where they want it to be.
it's not gonna be the easiest lane here for Thunder Awaken. Maybe if they get the levels and when they manage to like get level 2 Iron Shell, get on top of the Enchantress, just run her down. One of the reasons why Matthew bought the boots, so he can do shenanigans like this, pull the wave, and also synergizes nicely with the Darkseer, where he can chase people down, try to get a kill. Also, I see Yuma. Oh, bottom.
Yeah.
Never mind, baited.
Having a go.
I thought there was some action happening, Gary. Back to my point on top. I don't know if Monkey wants to invest into Battle Fury. It's just way too slow of an item. Maybe he thinks I'm playing against CK, I'm playing against Darkseer and the Illusions, so we'll need like more AoE control, more damage in terms of the Illusions. But I feel like you just don't contribute as much as you would if you get like Echo Saber, disassemble, get the BKB, or try to throw in a Maelstrom.
Yeah, because
Maelstrom
one of the
BKB
greatest...
also feels fine. Yeah, Monkey just. I don't know. I was never a big fan of Battle Fury Monkey or Battle Fury Jug. I feel like it always like you miss hit your timings overall.
Right. Because we've seen like, especially I guess it's more for mid lane Monkey King, but one of his greatest strengths is playing early with Primal Spring. You've got magic damage. You can jump on people, catch them, and kill them. Go for this Battle Fury. You kind of like, okay, you'll be maxing out Jingu and Boundless, but then you completely miss out on that tree dance effectiveness early game.
It also means you're not going to be as active as you would. Monkey, as you said, one of the heroes that wants to move out early on. We see, like, especially, I'd say OG, they know how to utilize Monkey. They are the team that just rotates early on. Like, you don't expect him to be there. And he's like, well, if he had Ring of Health, he would definitely not come.
Yeah. So why is there a level 5 Monkey King here? Oh, he's got Orb of Corrosion. He's killing us. That's how. Matthew trying to drag waves again. Met with the full force of Yuma and Gardic, and with those body blocks, they'll get the Jingu stacks up. So Yuma will bound the strike down the Nyx Assassin, stamps out the bug, and returns to his lane as he misses out 1 CS, maybe 2 here. We'll be able to clean up the rest while Darkseer now jungling Lacoste.
Off lane, Gary. It can become difficult. They last pick Enchantress this time around. They managed to utilize, overall had the last pick, but managed to utilize it much more efficiently.
And a bottle refill there for Dark Margot. So even if top lane's going poorly as a lane, in terms of the concept we understand of a lane in a 2v2, Sacred and Matthew still getting something out of the map with lane dragging, jungling, of course, helping out that mid laner. It does allow Gardic and Yuma to start playing aggressively towards the tower, though. As Pakaz training out for El Misho. Pandamu doesn't have any mana here to chase out Vitali, so he'll drag that wave all the way back to his. And continue farming as he has been doing. Maybe.
Matthew managed to out de-ward the Observer Ward and also de-block the sentry that was blocking the big camp in the triangle, so that's going to be big because I don't know if they want to play this lane anymore. I feel like they should just try to bail, or if Mars wants to make a rotation, if Mars gets a good 6-minute rune, then they can threaten the kill on top. Like, ideally, you would want to pick up the haste or haste top if we're talking about the perfect rune.
Let's see if that haste top comes. I mean, Matthew's going to be guarding it. 5 minutes 40. He's already here warding out in that mid lane. Ember chucking a remnant across to it just to prepare himself. We also see El Misho and Pandamu coming up from the top, from the bottom lane in towards mid. Where is that rune? Lacoste, if it's a haste top, it's a double damage. It is top. Gardic. I feel the spear to the back of the Bambi. Now
For a
Dark
second,
Margot,
I thought it was haste.
Yeah.
It looked like a haste. Maybe because I wanted to see it. So DD is also very good. He does have same item build he went for the previous time on Dark Mago, going for that Soul Ring to be able to spam spells out as DD. Maybe like they can, because lane is in a good spot. He can TP top, I think. I think that's doable.
Yeah, probably. He's walking top right now, so maybe thinking about the TP back to mid lane if he needs to.
Because I saw him shoving out the wave. Gardic.
Okay,
he's going to get dispelled.
Okay, you've removed that DD, sure, but yeah, you're dying for it.
He removed her
Bottom.
from the game. Bottom
Go
lane.
Pakaz. Ember Spirit stunned, so he can't triple Remnant onto the CK. And now the TP reaction from Dark Margot coming in to catch out El Misho. Snapfire dragged back into them. And Thunder, 4 heroes down bottom, reacting to that analog gank perfectly. And he's going to Remnant aggressively. No, he jumps back to mid.
Healing salve immediately cancelled, even though it's just half a duration. Pakaz will manage to get some lifesteal off, and yeah, as Sacred, yeah, he gets the solo kill.
Well, we were also focused on bottom lane with everyone rotating there. Is that how is that meant to happen? Monkey King, he's level 6, doesn't have his ulti, but
Maybe he got surprised. I don't know. Probably sitting with 2 ion shells on top of him, with the wall of replica, slowing him down, and tried to trade. I think he tried to trade with maybe 2 Jingus. I'm not sure what happened, but
Yeah,
definitely
Sacred
shouldn't
God.
happen.
that solo kill's huge. I mean, now he's level 7.5. Lane completely recovered. Stacks his own jungle to continue farming. And Thunder, they are pretty much all in the vicinity of this mid lane. If Hokori come to fight into the triangle or try and push into mid, they're going to be met with everybody of Thunder. They do have a good ward. Never mind. It's going to get immediately de-warded. As Dark Margot comes in with a sentry and gets the gold for himself. And as this game goes on, with levels on Matthew, Ember Spirit's game becomes ever so difficult against Spike Carapace and these stuns. Is it another BKB rush game for the Ember Spirit, do you think?
He might need to. Like, you probably don't want to, but a lot of the times you're playing into like a single counter, like a puck, and then you're playing into Sky. You feel like you need to get it even after the extra 15-second addition to BKB.
Bring back the days of Yule's Manta Ember Spirit. Just dispel and dodge everything. Now replaced by that BKB is Matthew. Spamming mana burn, clipping the Ember, but the Familiar's over the top. Looking for that counter initiation onto him, but they drag back Ember Spirit, and Analog's out of mana. Has the sticks as they take down Vitali's Visage inside the arena. Out goes the Ember Spirit. But a wraparound coming in. Chaos Knight, Pakaz. I don't think he's been spotted or noticed.
Oh, 2 birds as well. Dark Mago.
Coming in behind them. Pakaz stunned by the cookie. He won't be able to catch anybody. It was a nice move. Good attempt. Not executed perfectly, though. And what do you... 2 birds got killed?
Yeah, Dark Mago. He got the last hit, and he also got 2 birds. So he has a Blink Dagger pre-10 minutes on top of the Soul Ring and Boots on Mars. He's been really on point. Like, he has a really good read on the game, what needs to be done. So TP's bottom twice. Always has mana. Analog will pick up Regen. Ooh, this didn't connect.
In between 2 trees. There's that regen rune for him. Yeah. Dark Mago, top of the net worth. As always, having a great old time. Getting some neutral items now. As they do flow out of the jungle. Bottom lane, though, good from Hokori here with the Visage Familiars, just quite simply taking down that tier 1. And there's no real move that Thunder can do to mirror that. You know, Darkseer, not a great pushing hero. Mars, CK don't want to show themselves as they want to farm or get the jump on people from Fog. I'm kind of wondering, what's Thunder's next move here? Is it a smoke play? Is it a gank with Mars Arena Blink?
Lich is level 6. Okay, Matthew's on the hunt. Does have that Vendetta, but he also wants to scout things out, and they also want to go for the bigger target. Birds are not with him at the moment. They are connecting, though.
Yeah, they ignore that courier, which was delivering the Vlads to Visage. Now to Rift back, and the stuns on Dark Margot means no arena. Cookie in, Gardic does stun up the Mars, and Yuma throws a boundless strike towards them. The Impale off the mark, and an arena will be there onto the Enchantress. The Kiss is launched in to try and give some
good luck
fire.
Using kisses against Nyx Assassin. It's just very difficult. Like, the value from Nyx Assassin in this game is going to be insane. Against, like, Visage can't go on you. You're going to stop the Mortimer's Kisses. You can set things up for Ember Spirit. Like, even Monkey King. Just so many things he can do. Right now, he's not maxing out the Spike Carapace. He's putting more points in the Impale. Impale feels good spell to use right now. Before it was kind of lackluster, and you would want to max out the Carapace. I would still want him to put like more points in because he's not getting many levels. He was level 4. They didn't play the lane. Had to buy the book. Like this is level 6 with the book 12 minutes in. So I just want to see this ability scale. Just lower the cooldown.
Yeah. Keep it going. Get multiple uses in a team fight. Dark Margot with a haste rune now. Lich and Mars, we're trying to guard both top and bot runes. Successfully do so. Still feels like Hokori in a pretty decent position here map-wise. Vitaly's pushing out bot, drawing the attention of Matthew down here. So Ember Spirit has a bit more freedom if they know that Nyx is hunting Vitaly over and over again. That's why Monkey King farming out that top jungle. Ember Spirit can get involved there as well after shoving top lane. And again, Thunder just don't seem to have this way to push out top, but they do have a way to kill Vitaly. And with a spear on Ember Spirit, have they got the chain stuns to finish him off? The cookie's there and he gets a bit of distance. Still with that remnant available, and he'll be forced to jump away with it. But familiars are dropping, and another arena comes in from Dark Margot to find Almisho. 2 familiars down, 2 heroes gone. And Thunder are legitimately just ignoring top lane and playing bot over and over again.
You don't in these situations, you have a tower.
They've
Monkey.
He's got what? Okay, he's got wand, but he's got no remnants anymore. Oh, the chains hold back the Mars.
He's gonna have spells in 3 seconds. Okay, Enchantress is there, but someone needs to die.
Someone does play into that Mars yet again. Enchantress just bodyguarding the Ember Spirit and pay the toll for the Ember's life.
My point was that if Monkey has different item build, he will gladly join those fights. He's still the most farmed hero in the game. Does have Battle Fury done. Just needs to use the Courier 14 minutes in on top of Power Treads. Not too bad. It's nothing spectacular because he was not involved in many kills. I think Thunder Awaken realized that top lane.
Ooh, so risky. He's got 1 charge. His Remnant's on cooldown though, and they're just throwing everything
It's
at
slow.
Analog. He's so slow with a Remnant off to the right, jumps to it, and he will survive. A risky plays from him, though.
Nyx is making this bottom lane very difficult.
He's caught out Yuma. Sacred's here. And Monkey King, he wanted to finish off that Battle Fury. He did do so, but dies in his efforts to farm out that bot lane. And again, we've seen this 4 or 5 times now from Thunder. It seems unnatural. It seems abnormal for a Radiant team to continually play into this bot lane and not push the tower top and not get involved in that top jungle. But it's working out for Thunder. They are stemming this Hokori side and making sure that they can't actually get more ground on the map. They are defending their bottom jungle with everything they've got.
Look at Matthew stacking the camp, putting the Tranquil Boots in the backpack so he has it immediately after. Just the value, and now they're trying to de-ward. There is a sentry, gets the stun off. There's also 1 sentry ward on the hill. He wants, like, what he's doing is saying, like, I want to be able to play bottom part of the map without them seeing me. I want to invest heavily. I have a partner to play with. That's Darkseer, who finished off the not just mech, but also a Blink Dagger. So he's really big. Also, we need to talk about the repositioning tools on their side. Vacuum plus Spear. So I don't think Monkey King is going to have, like, an easy time. Mid lane, Mago finds an opening.
And Almisho, Gold's rebuked out of the cookie animation. Dominating Mars. They do lose their Lich top, though, as Ember Spirit plus Visage make short work of Pandamu, and maybe we'll look to make a concerted effort into that top tier 1 with a catapult wave. Thunder force the Ember Spirit away. Bottom runes are regen spawned up, denied by an Alpha Wolf. Gardic with a micro.
There are 3 observer boards from Hokori that can scout things out, scout the movement from, especially the deep one where Nyx Assassin could potentially use Vendetta from. I don't think this ward is getting dewarded because they just dewarded 1. And Matthew, like, Nyx Assassin is not a hero that can farm. That's the problem. Might be a bit OP if the hero could farm. But he is getting kills. Like, he's getting involved, which means that he will get closer to his Blink Dagger timing, and then he can be the one also initiating a fight. Well, especially on Ember Spirit, just by blinking and using Carapace.
Yeah, it's only 10 seconds until he gets his Philosopher's Stone, right? And then he's
Exactly. Then he's good to go.
He's got no issues whatsoever. Another good spear. Mid lane, the Chain Frost thrown in, but doesn't bounce. With the Sinister Gaze in the vacuum, they nearly had him.
A bit too early from Pandamu. Dark Mago needed to drag the creep wave a bit closer. Just an extra bounce would probably do the trick.
Continually keeping Analog low, though, so he's struggling to stay on the map and play as the Arena from Mars catches El Misho. Just finding these piecemeal pickoffs here and there. Still yet to really do too much about this top tier 1. It's got to be one of the later tier 1 takes as Thunder on Radiant side for sure. 18 minutes.
They've been playing bottom.
Yeah, I know.
And Pakas was farming inside the triangle. Very interesting build from Pakas this time around. Getting Armlet into Hyperstone. Usually I've seen people getting Blitz Knuckles on CK just to be able to like increase your farming, and you go for Shadowblade later on, but I don't think I've ever seen Hyperstone.
Yeah, so what is he going to build that into an AC?
Look what he's bringing on the Courier. Just a Windlace. Like, Windlace 18 minutes in.
Yeah, he does like this. And it's Dark Margot. Morty launching out the kisses. Next Assassin, going to finish off the Ench, and Dark Margot is fine in the end. Yeah, Pakas does like this on pretty much any hero, like Medusa, TA, whoever it is, just to allow him to move from lane to lane and farm creeps that little bit faster. Feels like it's a good investment for his farming patterns. Looking to kill off Familiar's top, but they both land. See if he can kill off... Yeah, he's going to get these, isn't he? Resummon, forced out on Vitali.
Vitali, like, these are kills from the lane. He didn't do anything post-laning stage. Has rate back. He needs to play with the team. Like, they definitely need him in these fights. Also, he's about to hit level 12. What about Monkey? Going towards BKB. I think this is the timing that they're looking for. Have BKB on Monkey. Good back.
What a sick play. Matthew Carapace is the cookie that was going high ground. El Misho's probably thinking, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm surviving. No, the vacuum back down to low ground. And this Familiar just resummoned. Killed off, so Vitali only has one standing now. As ever, it feels like Thunder Predator with a firm grasp on this game. Matthew hunting, scouting out the Visage. They know where he is. They know that Ember Spirit's going to show mid in a second as well. They're pinging. Well, he wants to play aggressively and defend this top jungle area. Analog does get the chains onto two of them. BKB's up as well. Gets away from the spear. Sacred. Used his mech already, but Surge and Stick should keep him at a good distance away. Another jump in, though, as Analog looks for Dark Margot now. Bursting with a Soul Assumption and Yuma's finish. A pretty big streak there for the Monkey King to claim. A lot of money into his pockets.
I was wondering what Matthew was doing, because he saw them. Rest of the team was connecting, and he's like, see ya, brothers. I'm on to a warding mission. Sets one observer ward into enemy triangle.
Yeah, he went all the way from top jungle, like around mid tier 2, back into the triangle.
Yeah, he
down
went
bottom.
Between tier 2 and tier 3 tower, just completely bailed everyone on their team.
Oh, and he didn't get Philosopher's Stone, did he? The Dire got one, but not the Radiant. Neutral item RNG, damn you! Where's my money rock? Still, not much in it in terms of net worth. I mean, 16-5 is a pretty big kill gap. 20 minutes in, but only a 1k lead for Thunder Predator as Monkey King's Battle Fury definitely coming into its own now. Top of the net worth, has a BKB. Hokori have the tools they need with a double magic immunity on Analog and Yuma. Well, Thunder smoking out with all their ultis greenlit. Who do they find, though? To start on this Ember, you need that Nyx Carapace, it feels like. Catch him unawares. Maybe guard it.
Whip
Slow
him.
down.
Whip him.
Whip and stun. Drag him back. Finish off the Ench. It's always just these kills on Enchantress, though. Like, nice, you've killed the plus 5. What next? Can't really push either of the side lanes as Vitali And Gareth have done a great job just split pushing with summons. Top was cleared out as well.
I mean, look at Pakaz. He bought 18-minute Windlace, and now he has it in the backpack because he doesn't have slots.
Lots of small items, but top river, big arena wall. The Chain Frost is bouncing. The Dire do have these double BKBs up as they're trying to finish off El Misho, and he is brought down. Dark Margo on the run in a 1-for-1 trade. Their chains are there, and the familiars, they'll come in and land, stunning on his head as Hokori battle back. Andamu's also put himself in the firing line. And Yuma finding another kill right outside the Roche pit. Big team fight victory for Hokori, and now Aegis going to be there as well.
Pakaz made a mistake. He showed bottom. The rest of the team was not there, and immediately Hokori, they want to go in. Like, you can see them because they know that Chaos Knight can't connect with the rest of the team. Also, Wraith Pact. Like, Lich ulti seemed really good, but 30% less damage, and also Darkseer. Just way too much. Like, the number on this is too high. Problem is, I don't know if it's just me, but whenever Monkey King uses this Golden Wukong's command, I can't see anything. I literally cannot see. And then you have familiars, you have Lich ulti bouncing inside the arena, Vlad's, and you can't see it. Like, I don't think you can see the Wraith Pact.
Yeah, it's invisible. You don't know it's there. A toxic spam on the ground strat. That was always one of my favorite strategies, though. Having, like, you know, Undying Tombstone, Shadow Shaman wards, Supernova from Phoenix. Now you've got Wraith Pact, you've got Ench creeps, all sorts of stuff just out on the map. Vitali does get picked here. Punched out by the Darkseer. Don't know if they can kill familiars, though. Matthew doesn't have a stun. Vitali should be able to micro them away. Now going in mid, Thunder off the back of that one kill, they just want to find more and more. El Misho annihilated by the Chaos Strikes. And usually you'd expect the Aegis team to be the one dominating and asserting their presence on the map, but the opposite is true.
Absolutely. And Paka, like, I don't know if he's committing, had that in his quick buy for quite some time. If he wants that Moon Shard. I don't think I've ever seen this build. Ooh, top lane. That's why Nyx Assassin is always and probably always will be one of the better counters against Ember Spirit.
Darkseer unhappy about the shape of Ember's head. Oh, Matthews come bottom now. I would have loved to find the Monkey King, but Gardic will be their consolation prize, it appears. Centaur Stomp holds the Darkseer back as Matthew should line up another stun in a couple of seconds while Pakaz has died up top. He's stuck around on that tier 2. And there is the kill on the Enchantress. Long overdue. Chase onto Panda mode. Lich. We're going to get out of there. No. Stunned up on the way back. Some messy stuff there.
Indeed. CK changes his item build. He's like, well, maybe I need something else. Gets Shadowblade instead. Value from Silver Edge is going to be really good to be able to break Visage, break Monkey King, break Enchantress. It's just an item that you want to pick up. But I also feel like you need that BKB. Against Visage, if you get slowed down against the chains, you might get kited.
Yeah, there's an awful lot there on Hokori's side. Even the kisses can be annoying. As El Misho has that Philosopher's Stone and well on his way to a BKB. Still holding a lot of money in his pockets. Aegis in hand for the Monkey King for 2 minutes still. So with this smoke, Hokori want to try and extend the lead that they have created for themselves. Oh, Pakaz showing bottom. He thinks that's a freebie Ench kill. And he's half right. It is an Ench kill, but it will not be free. Surrounded by the remaining members of Hokori now. Slight chains there, and they connect on him beautifully. Baited out by that Enchantress of Gardic.
He needs a BKB. This item build might backfire. The good thing is Dark Mago is having a really good time on Mars. He is about to finish his Deso, so that means that he can transition into carry. This is like 27 minutes in where Mars has a BKB Deso Blink, so you know that he's going to scale.
It feels like a bit of Pakaz having fun. Having a bit of a meme with his item build. We'll see.
And he swaps. He he knows.
Windlace sold.
No value whatsoever gained from that. Like his item build. You know, just, if they lose the game, this is gonna be a big part of it.
Definitely something to point your fingers at.
It's always
Analog
easy to point
zips away.
fingers.
Yeah, the blame game is an important aspect of Dota 2, isn't it? It's
It
never
really
my
is.
fault. Someone else's.
El Misho, you mentioned Philosopher's Stone that he found. Almost has Ags on
He's
top of
changed
Mech.
his mind. He had BKB queued up for a while.
BKB from position 4 as a Snapfire is just not really good. You need items. Like it's not your job to be in the middle of the fight. Like I can understand like
He's
why
against
he
the
wants
Knicks.
to be. He's against Knicks. Like I'll pop a BKB, but I feel like this approach is much better, where you have a saving tool and you also have way of initiating the fight.
Yeah, then you can gobble up your Analog Ember or Yuma Monkey King if they get caught by the Knicks. Instead, there goes the Aegis reclaimed. So 3 minutes until the big man returns. At the very least, anyway. Some tier 3 neutral items coming out. CK finds an Elven Tunic, a Psychic Headband. A Titan Sliver over on a Dire team. Give that over to the Monkey King. Although he is holding Paladin Sword, which is pretty nice on Monkey King with that lifesteal.
Monkey has a full Scotty. Like Monkey is massive. This is the battlefield. It seems like they just wanted to play for this timing. Good sentry into Cookie. Blow up Nyx Assassin instantly.
He walked right into that. And Thunder walking right back to their base. Don't want to continue this 3v5 down here.
It's this absurd. He should know that he was underneath the ward when he used that Vendetta, because they pretty much owned him there. Enchantress buying gem, so they also want to get rid of some visions. Visions, okay. They had a
Visions
nightmare.
of the future.
Exactly. And yeah, they want to see Nyx Assassin, because Nyx Assassin is going to be an issue. I see Nyx going for Force Staff next. Might need to get Eon Disc just to be able to get his spells off. Like, Force Staff also protects him against some of that, but Eon Disc is much better. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't deal damage during the carapace. It's more about like landing a carapace and then potentially resetting using it again.
A chaining of stuns up. Yeah, especially when he is the kind of sacrificial frontliner for the team. Darkmar goes the second wave of initiation with the Darkseer. It is pretty much down to Matthew to make the jump, find these team fight initiations, and start things off with a bang out of the Spike Carapace and Impale. I do smoke. Pakar's shadow bladed away. Hokori waiting up on their high ground, trying to see if someone breaks the smoke or comes towards them. Rune spawns bottom, though. Nobody from the Radiant going for it. As is just attempting to posture for position around that next Roshan. Incoming in a couple of minutes. Top lane does need to be dealt with. Could always be someone lurking there to push it out, but Thunder are looking to fight middle. Dark Margo down to half HP immediately. The vacuum's there, but the triple BKBs will arrive from Hokori. Matthew, he's being obliterated inside the Wukong's command. Nearly dead. The kisses come through, but it's only Gardic to die so far. Double buyback now, though, as finally Thunder lose a couple of members. Pakar's invis and running away, while Dark Margo's run back in and die. 70 seconds on the sidelines, and Hokori's triple BKB working out wonders.
Double BKB from Thunder Awaken as well. Like, they didn't get anything done. They killed Enchantress once again, but at this point, I don't think you care too much about it. Yeah, this raid pack popping off in the middle of a team fight. Monkey, if he gets the Wukong off, I feel like Thunder Awaken, they do have Silver Edge, Shadowblade, and also Nyx Assassin, so should be able to like get a little bit of better initiation in these fights. Also, you can't stand in Wukongs. It's just impossible to deal damage. And the Analog is moving freely. He's also getting ton of farm, has a Maelstrom, has that BKB going into Aghanim Scepter next. It like even has a Shard, so he pops a Remnant on the ground. CK Illusions are not as tanky. And we see Pakaz trying to find something in the enemy jungle.
Yeah, looking for whatever little farm he can get. I think, yeah, also important is Dark Mago cannot be the hero that's initiated on. He has to be the one that's jumping in, blinking, pressing BKB, and using his spells before the opponent gets a chance to react. While Pakaz, similar story.
BKB
He's getting
3.
jumped on here. BKB's on cooldown, will have it ready now. Invis Surge gets out the Phantasm, turns onto Vitali, but the Wukong's command are going to cause some issues here as Hokori bullying back Thunder. In comes Dark Mago with the arena, catching out Snapfire. Chain Frost is bouncing in the backlines, but Pakaz is still being focused down. Hokori finding 2 big pickoffs and losing literally nothing. Pandamu shredded by the Ench Impetus shots. And Dark Mago, the kisses and the gobble up, launching Yuma towards him. They see Mars on the retreat, and they've got Primal Spring, Boundless Strike, but the spear! Dark Mago
Catches him
saves
mid-air.
himself. What a gorgeous spear. Mid-air
Roche-
Monkey King slapped
I
into
mean,
all the
Roche
trees.
is there. Still big W for Hokori. Like, CK just messed up with his item build, going for this Hyperstone, because he died a couple of times when they needed him to take the fight, and the first Roche take from Hokori managed them to get the most out of the map with this gem pickup that they have. Like, Visage is now the one holding it, has a BKB, not something you would expect from Visage to have, has bongo boots as well, ready to go.
Yeah, locked up his Triangles and Drums, so he can use out all the charges first. Dark Mago trying to get something out this map and pushing down bottom. Analogs here, though, with the slight chains. Dark Mago caught out by the 2 of them. While the rest of the squad have pushed out a couple of towers. Mid and top demolished by Hokori.
Hello there.
They will need Silver Edge on CK, and they need to be the one initiating on one of the targets. Ideally, you would want to blow up Visage, but he's super tanky. If he gets the right back, BKB, any of those off, I don't think he's dying. There's also potential save from Snapfire, Gobble Up.
So many ways for them to turn around team fight. It's been amazing stuff. Hokori looking to even the playing field in this game too. And this is definitely one of the series we kind of expect to go 3 games. That first game was a bit of a shock at how dominant and quick it was, even with the prowess of Thunder that we know and love. Hokori have shown over several seasons now just how well they can perform when they've got a draft that's built around themselves. Pandamu out on a warding mission. Says hello to the Enchantress. Glimmer Cape will give him only a few seconds of respite. As Hokori come back to maintain their lanes, gobbling up centaurs, chucking remnants at the CK illusions. And yeah, you were right. These CK illusions do not last long. 2 spells and they die.
They're not tanky at all. I mean, the only tankiness that he gets is from Armlet and component from BKB. That's it.
What was the old Silver Edge recipe? Did it have Ultimate Orb in it at one point?
It did, yes.
It did, right. I was just trying to think back, and maybe old Silver Edge would have been a little bit nicer for the CK with the stats you get from it.
There's big items coming up on their side. Dark Mago still needs some gold to be able to finish off AC. I hope he gets it for the next fight, because then the fight's going to be a bit more balanced. Just to have that tankiness against Visage, against Monkey, Sleight of Fist, they do hurt. Like, most of their damage is physical.
I'm ready to go high ground. Yuma up on the trees does have that tree dance cast range to jump even further. Pakaz was maybe considering a go there. But they need the Nyx to rejoin the squad. They need the Mars to be here as well. Dark Mago's out collecting bounty runes. Tax collector gathering money, and a defensive Wukong's here, a big old golden circle. It's going to secure a full set for Hokori. Doesn't seem like Thunder really want to get too involved right here, right now. They'll just let them come and take what they want, clear the creep wave, and maybe a couple of familiars on the way out. Slow and steady, Hokori winning this race.
Also, Monkey, he decided to go for Silver Edge. Just Crystallis gives them that extra damage that he needs, and also to be able to break Mars. They can blow up Mars easily. Like his armor is even not that high, even with AC. Just sitting at 14 armor.
Oh, he
11.
bought an AC. What's the CK has been like queuing up different. I think he's kind of lost, like you've been saying, with this build that he's tried to go for. Because Pakaz had AC queued up for quite a while, but with the Mars going for it, I guess it's just gonna have to be a Moonshard later on.
That's what he wanted all the way along. Just wanted that Moonshard. Probably tested it out. Thinks it's good. It just definitely would go for it if the team was like playing 4 versus 5. If he was off to a better start, I would say.
And you're like
But
role playing as a tiny.
like BKB, I still need it. Still a good item.
That's gonna win your team fights. That BKB. This is exactly where Hokori want to be, though. Radiant Triangle. Bottom lane's always going to trend towards that Radiant base. And from this area, they can spread into mid, spread into top. That line being... Well, 3 lines being drawn. Lacoste, can you decipher what these 3 lines mean?
It means one is in the middle, the second one is river, and the third one is the same distance from the first one and the second one.
Okay, you described what they mean.
Not really.
What was Matthew trying to say? You know, don't go past this line or this line or this line?
It would
this is where they're going to try and hold us in.
Don't leave the base.
Basically,
I don't think that's what they want to do. Let's just check the buybacks real quickly. Darkseer has one. Next Assassin doesn't have it because he used it before and invested all of his gold into Force Staff. There's still a lot of gold for Dark Mago to farm up for his. So it seems like it's gonna be the first line. Like, don't cross the first line unless we killed one hero. Don't cross the second line unless we kill the second hero. I think that might be it.
Now you're onto something. You've cracked the Enigma code. The machine has been taken and broken by our crypto analyst Lacoste.
Yeah, that's not the word that we use these days, Gary. Especially in the last couple of weeks when everything crashed.
Sad times. Very sad times. Well, Hokori still a little bit afraid of pushing high ground against Thunder. Not having Aegis anymore on Monkey King makes things a little more challenging. It's always going to be a big fear going into Mars Arena Vacuum. We're yet to see any real big, Sacred Matthew combos with a Vacuum Impale, which could be a play they make, and of course Chain Frost to get the damage done. Hokori on the hunt down in the bottom lane, though, knowing the Thunder have to make a move somewhere, and they have attempted to try and cut waves. The TP home successfully by Panda, who gets him away, while Dark Margo has the TP with a BKB.
Monkey does have enough money to buy Refresher. That's going to be big. Double BKB, double Wukong's command, because we've seen Wukong's being a tool for sieging. You can get close with level 25, gobble up, spit out.
Oh, they so desperately wanted to deward that high ground. Not permitted by Hokori, though. Shutting the door on Pandamo. And again, Thunder just nestling themselves by their tier 3s. What's the procedure? What's the order of operations from Thunder? Is it Matthew jumps in and they try and vacuum Arena? Who do they go on? What's the primary target for Thunder to jump?
I'd say Wizage still. If they can blow him up, I don't think they're getting a kill on Ember Spirit or Monkey. Monkey did finish off the Refresher. And also has double damage in the bottle.
It's a bit saucy. I mean, one good kill on Enchantress allows them to get out of their base, but Analog and Yuma, just annihilating Pakaz. Matthew now next to one on the menu for him. Yuma with a double kill. No buybacks here from Thunder. And even without their Enchantress, it looks like Hokori could just break another lane of barracks.
Double BKB from Monkey. Does have another Wukong's command. Also needs to put power treads in his inventory. Here we go. This Lich Frost Shield looks like it's doing much, but yeah. Visage, level 25 talent and extra familiar. He just becomes a different hero. Look at his tower damage.
Yeah, Yeah, some bonkers stuff. They're doing, what, 80, 90 damage a hit.
Has a full AC as well. I think this game might be over, Gary.
Struggling to see a way for Thunder to kick back. There's still a minute for Roshan to respawn. So plenty of time here for Hokori really just to lay it on thick, get another set, bring down a tier 3, kill off Dark Margo's courier, which had a claymore on it. He was very close to Satanic. Probably still wants to hold the buyback, though, at this point. Mars, CK, Darkseer, and Lich, the 4 heroes on the Radiant with buybacks, and Nyx Assassin 70 gold off it as well. So they do have that kind of defender's advantage when it comes to holding high ground and fighting around their base. Which is why Hokori are so tentative about fully committing and just breaking up the staircase into Radiant side. I think Thunder probably out of smokes at this point as well. They've got what? They've got one more on Lich. Try and have another go at this. You've got to clear out the waves before you can make the move. That's what they're pinging out now. Then Pakar's Dark Margo, go and kill some of these lane creeps so we can smoke and try and make a play. Move towards Roshan. And this could be perfect timing for them because Roshan has just respawned. In comes the arena. Dark Margo with the help of the wall and the Chain Frost in. They're trying to focus down the Enchantress, but the Wukongs, the monkey, is cleaving and clapping in towards him. A double for Yuma, and Analog is hunting illusions. Kills off the rest of the Phantasm. Double buyback from Thunder, though. They want to continue fighting, even without wall, even without arena. They know that this is some last-ditch effort that they need to get right.
And now inside the pick. Another refresher. Potentially 4 Monkey Kings. So having 3 BKBs, 3 Wukongs. This is like I don't see Thunder Awaken defending their barracks. They need the base case scenario play against Mega Creeps.
I'm trying to think, when was the last time we saw Monkey die? He's got 2 deaths. But it feels like they were all 20, 25 minutes ago. Yuma has had a pretty spectacular game on this Monkey with the Battle Fury. Even if it felt a little bit slow at the start, it has more than made up for it in the long run.
He thought the rest of the team can hold until he gets his items. So like he also didn't go too greedy, just Battle Fury into BKB to be able to join these fights. And now they're ready to go. They gave Refresher to Ember Spirit, refreshing the Fire Remnants. Shiva's BKB as well on top of that. Also going for Refresher himself.
And he has a Spell Prism. Ember Spirit. I'm focusing on the Monkey a lot. He is a big threat, but you're right. Ember Spirit is there as well. 2 of the top net worth heroes. CK running back away as they drop the wall into this arena. Trying to kill off Yuma, but Matthew's just been blasted. Mortimer's Kiss is more than enough, but El Misho found by the CK coming in from the back lines, and Aegis is down. Amber looking to Remnant back towards the Chaos Knight, though, who has to BKB and run away. Ooh, the tree got cut there. Monkey King lands with a thud, and Pakas may be able to slip out of the grasp of Hokori. He's surviving. Sacred punches back on the Ember, but in comes Yuma yet again. Double man Boundless Strike and another defensive Wukongs. We're in a 5 versus 2 now, and yeah, GG is called. No chance of survival here in Game 2 for Thunder Predator. And Hokori taking it to Game 3.
I'd say Gardic caught a lot of those early deaths from Nyx Assassin rotations as well. Like, they didn't find Ember nor Monkey. I think Ember maybe once on the top lane, but most of these Vendetta kills were just on Enchantress and Visage. And that means that the rest of the team, like the other cores, are going to be able to get the farm. We just see the damage from CK. 14,000. That's extremely low for CK. Compared to, like, Monkey King's 20,000 or Ember Spirit 40,000.
in a 45-minute game, right?
Yeah. Like, Visage building damage, 16,000. Like, this hero just deals insane amount of building damage. It's it's pretty nuts with the talent, with the AC Vlads. They also could not kill the Wraith back in those fights. Like, no one's gonna go inside the Wukongs and click that, sit inside, like, go, oh yeah, I'm just gonna right click that for 4 hits. you might die. You might die before you actually get any hits off.
Well, yeah, the only person that can do that is Lich, right? And Pandamu is like, okay, I'll Chain Frost and then die, I guess. Poor little Lich. I think you had a great point, though. You know, as much as we talk about Pakaz with his item build, which was, you know, awkward and experimental, I guess, is the kindest way to put it. But, you know, Gareth, a great job tanking a lot of the ganks, making sure that they were playing in that bottom lane, which seemed, you know, abnormal and unnatural for the Radiant team to be continually going down there. But, it, you know, with the Darkseer, they don't innately have that split push threat that you get from the Beastmaster or the Visage, as you mentioned. But there we go, tying it up 1-1. Hokori still looking pretty good and showing Thunder Predator they are no pushovers after that first 20-minute loss in game 1. But back to the panel as we can think about the future and what is in store for us in game 3.
What is in store for us, dear Gareth, is some more Dota 2, some more hype, and something incredible, because what a game from Hokori, pulling this one out of the bag at the very last minute with a very intriguing draft. Initially, it seemed like they were going to have difficulties, but they made it work, and they made it work wonderfully. It turns out, Kips, that the faith in the analog Ember Spirit, very well placed, even into a very difficult game.
Yep, and no greed for him, straight into the BKB, and I think in general that's what their team did very much right here. Like, you could see the first time that Thunder Awaken was actually ready to fight, they immediately get confronted by double BKBs. The Mars like, what the hell did I just jump into? They got that Wraith Pack down as well at that point already, and it's one big Monkey King colored heap of heroes. And because of the physical damage advantage from that Monkey, from that Visage, it is not Thunder Awaken that get out of that. And I've been praising their team fighting, but it almost feels like they sort of got high on their own supply here. It's like, well, it's fine. We're the team fighting team. We're just going to go on again. And they kept on doing it. The first time they speared the Monkey King out of his ult was in the very last fight of the game. They did not look to do that or manage to do that beforehand.
Which is quite problematic, right? We were anticipating that they have so many different mechanisms of being able to secure themselves some decent repositioning in these fights, but it never really happened for them. And to make matters worse here, Sexy Fat, not only did that not really happen for them, right? Monkey King gets this very early Battle Fury. Kips was talking about it in the draft that there is that counter potential, but them fighting so far away from this MK all the time created so much space for him to get his early BKB Battle Fury combination. Did it also just feel like they just ran out of damage way too quickly on the side here of Thunder Awaken, and they very soon just couldn't take any fights. Like, I don't want to bring it up, but did this have to do with the itemization here of Pakaz on his CK?
I don't think it does. Hokori also had a lot of AoE spells, so the illusions of CK wouldn't work that well. Plus, you have the Visage building a lot of auras, so it gets tough to CK to deal damage with only his heroes. So I think that's one of the reasons why we felt this lack of damage coming by Thunder Awaken. Mars trying to cover up with building Desolator, but even with that, we still felt the lack of damage.
I mean, speaking of that, Mars, we were speaking about it in the draft, Kips, that by the time he gets that early Blink Dagger, they're going to be looking to try and hunt down that Ember Spirit. Something that we sometimes see in these Dota games, right, is when the strategy is supposed to pan out in a very clear-cut fashion. You know, by Blink, we kill Ember Spirit reliably. The one time that they tried that and it failed, it really felt like they were like, oh crap, this is a problem. Because if that combination is not working for them, it felt like they didn't really have any other tricks up their sleeve, especially because the Darkseer didn't really have the impact that they thought he would have in this game.
Yeah, and you don't get any more damage on top of the heroes that you have in this case. Like, you can't buy right-click on your Nyx Assassin, on your Darkseer to make up for the fact. Like, it's all spells plus the Mars' initiation. If the Mars doesn't have enough in his pocket to actually knock that Ember Spirit out, then you're just not going to get him. And that's how we end up with this weird game where they keep on going for the Enchantress skills. They do get one Monkey out of it. Like, I think that was his only death, actually, on the bot lane. They got one Nyx Assassin gank on the Monkey King, and that's it. But they can't really keep their waves out because there's a Visage, so they can't get any towers unless they find pickoffs. And every single pickoff they actually find is the Enchantress, and you can't take towers off of that. You get stuck in this really weird loop. And I think that's where Pakaz's weird itemization comes from as well, right? Because SexyFed already says it's like it's very hard to get enough damage in this game. So Pakaz is torn between, do I get survivability, do I get stats, or do I buy raw damage? And then you end up with a CK who farms a lot, gets picked off several times after he should have had a BKB, but he was out buying damage because he knew he needed damage, he just doesn't actually get to deal any of it.
Yeah, they got way too tanky, way too quickly on the side here of Hokori. And with that, it allows them to carry forth this game to victory, keeping hopes alive, potentially not just of the major, but of directly qualifying for TI. Just to put into perspective here, Sexy Fat, Hokori need to come first. That nothing else will do. Either come first or pretty much go home, because the only other route is like second here, and then you still have to do very well at the major. So they definitely need a powerful performance. Based on what we've seen here, and given that they were able to take this game very heavily against Thunder Awaken, Gareth said it himself in the game that when they have the kind of draft that enables them to play their sort of, unorthodox, a bit reckless style, they can really go far. If they keep drafting in this fashion, can they actually take this full series against Thunder Awaken, given what this game looked like? Or was it the case that the last pick dogs here just let them down ultimately from the side of TA?
Yeah, definitely. I think Hokori should just focus on their own heroes and what their game plan, what they're gonna do. Because this game at least showed to me that if they are playing with their comfort picks and they know what they're doing, they are more than capable to beat Thunder on a great comeback series.
Yeah. I'm feeling a bit vindicated right now because I caught some heat just before the major by saying that I thought Hokori was actually better than Beast Coast last season. People are like, what? Madness. So if they win here, I'll be like, a little bit of vindication. But if 65 are just talking about comfort heroes, right? There is a bit of emotional and mental damage that the side of Thunder Awaken have to deal with, because Dark Mago did an amazing job, especially at the beginning of the game, right? And he did some very interesting things on his hero here. He's played Mars a lot, of course. And Mars is a hero that is generally picked and played a lot all across the world. He finds himself the 4th fastest blink on the patch, 5th fastest of all time. And of those 5 fastest all-time people, number 2 is Dark Mago, number 3 is Dark Mago, and number 4 is Dark Mago as well. Doesn't it hurt a little bit in this situation when you end up losing a game that you are on a hero that you are so proficient on and that you very rarely lose on? Is this going to hurt Thunder Awaken and their confidence in how they're going to draft in game number 3?
I'm not sure. Like, I think the performance that he put up is like, all right, let's go around 2 with Analog, right? He outperforms himself in that first game in the exact same matchup. Like, if anything, I think you just look at that as like, yeah, I was a Mars. Like, I'm a Mars mid. My purpose is to make this game happen until Lacoste takes over, and Lacoste just never took over. Like, I don't think he sees that as his fault at all. I think if he sees that as his fault, if he thought that he needed to do more on the Mars, then maybe he's not as good at Mars after all, right? So, no, absolutely not. I think that if they see another good Mars game, they're just going to pick it for him again.
I mean, speaking of Lacoste here, Sexy Fat, second pick CK was the option, of course, for the side of Thunder Awaken, but it does seem to be a reason why we don't see CK being enjoyed as much in the safe lane anymore. Has the era of CK passed, or at the very least, has the era of being able to first pick or first phase the CK well behind us, and you have to try to shelve it into a later portion of the draft?
Yeah, I think after... I think this is a previous strategy that Thunder had, but after CK got nerfed, I think they need to rethink about this strat with the CK, because the hero is not that strong anymore, and we see a lot of team fight always, and the hero needs to play with illusions to deal damage, so it really doesn't fit like a good choice for them here on this series and on this patch also. It's not the strongest anymore, and the meta is going towards a lot of team fight, and this hero cannot play against a lot of team fight, so I think they should rethink and do not pick it again on this series, at least.
At least in this series. I mean, they only have one more game, though. And it's a game that, for both teams, as much as we've been talking up the fact that Hokori, if they go down 0-2, very unlikely to get that qualification. For Thunder Awaken, it's not that big of a deal. They're pretty much guaranteed to go to TI. So just going to the major will just be a cherry on top for them. So they can still have some room for experimentation, some room to try and figure out the kinks in this particular meta. But for Hokori, it's all important, and it very much matters what they do for this last game. Now, given that they have shown a predilection here towards just picking, like you said, Sexy Fat, what they are good at, what really enables their team, are we going to start seeing some bans on their favorite heroes? We saw in game number 2 that they immediately decided, you know what, anything Dark Mago's comfortable on, besides the Mars, of course, that got through, we're going to try and deal with in the draft. Do we maybe see a first phase ban on this Ember Spirit from Analog just to try and force him to do something different in the series?
At least I don't think they were gonna ban it, Ember Spirit on first phase. Mostly because they don't feel like they need to respect Analog Ember Spirit. Still, Analog played really good Ember these 2 games. Right? Even if he lose the first one, he still played well. But I think there's other stuff they can look at and ban it. That will make more impact on Hokori's draft than the Ember.
Definitely. I can sort of see that. I'm really interested to see what they're going to pull out the table here for this third game. Thunder Awaken, definitely a team that's been very versatile here. But Gibbs, talk to me about something that I really need some opinion on, right? 3 games now. This time, game 2, Hokori did the right thing. They bought Wraith Pact. What's going on with Thunder? We need a plan here. Who do they pick that can at least buy the spooky skeleton to make sure that they have some degree of massive damage mitigation? I mean, they went for the Lich this time around, and it had, let's just say, very mixed results throughout the game after the laning phase. What do they pick? What's in the wheelhouse for the side of Thunder that will at least allow them to build Wraith Pact in a natural progression of their hero?
I'm not even sure that you want to pick something for it necessarily. Like, buying the Wraith Pact is mostly an act of equalizing, right? So you can do 2 things. You can either buy it yourself, or you can pick a hero that will eliminate the Wraith Pact for you. And they just didn't have any tools this time around. Like, I'm personally a fan of the aggressive option. Get rid of it. Get yourself a support whose job it is, and normally that's either Mirana or, of course, the all-present Snapfire. But yeah, if you think you're gonna get stuck in a veritable spaghetti bowl of heroes again, then yeah, maybe you should buy it yourself. I don't know. I kind of want to see them take the Visage for a ride. That would be hype.
That would be hype. That would be hype. Yeah, I definitely want to see a Visage for them, but I also want to see what they have in the mix for that spaghetti bowl of heroes